There's no Snow White. We've got some dwarves here on the Reptile Party's YouTube channel. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the YYC Nature Education Center and Calgary Reptile Party's YouTube channel. And Haley, who is filming this for me, just made a comment about how cheesy the intro was. But at the same time, these two snakes are named Happy and Dopey, so it does tie in. So if you are looking at this, if you have seen what these guys are a subspecies of in a zoo or in various videos, or maybe even some people might have them, you might be thinking that these are baby Burmese pythons. They are baby dwarf Burmese pythons, which is actually recognized as a subspecies found specifically on a few islands in Indonesia. So while the Burmese pythons are one of the largest snakes on Earth, they can easily exceed 200 pounds, get 15, 18 feet. You can check out some videos. Actually, a video I recently did in Edmonton with a Burmese python right here. Well, these guys do not get as big. They cap out at about 8.5 feet, which is still a large snake, but not nearly as big as an adult. So similar in size to, say, a bit of a larger boa constrictor or a carpet python. Unfortunately, being Burmese pythons, at least here in Alberta, Burmese pythons are illegal. They are restricted. It's not a size law, it's a species law here, which is kind of a shame because Burmese pythons, in my opinion, are one of the most beautiful python species on Earth, with the exception of maybe like the green tree pythons and stuff like that. Just the pattern on these guys, and the natural patterning. There's not 3,500 different colors of them like there are ball pythons. Even the regular Burms, there's not quite the variety. I know there's like albinism and Burmese pythons and stuff, but not to the degree that there is in the balls. And with these guys being fairly new, I don't think there's been much for like morphs and different color patterns. Burmese pythons are similar to retics in sort of where they're found, but retics tend to be the longer, leaner snakes. The dwarf Burmese pythons and the Burmese pythons are more heavier set. Now, he was striking a little bit earlier, but he seems to have settled down. So these guys do like to climb as babies. As they get larger, they will spend more time closer to the ground. Burmese pythons, the regular ones, are similar to that as well. And they hunt primarily rodents. These guys do eat rats. We are feeding them weaned rats twice a month. It always amazes me just like the muscle and the strength there of these guys. They can just hold themselves up by their tail and pull themselves up. Climbing around their habitat has been really cool. These guys, like Fiona in last week's video, are on loan to us. They are going to be going back home right away, which is really, really disappointing. Interestingly enough, the dwarf Burmese pythons also have a much higher price tag, apparently, than the regular Burmese pythons. I feel like it should be kind of opposite that. Your potential 200-pound snake should not be easy to get. I'm hoping one day that maybe like there'll be some changes and they'll go, okay, well, your dwarf Burmese or your dwarf retics, which do get bigger than the dwarf Burmese, but only about like 8 to 10 feet. And maybe a big one would be about 11. So again, like large carpet or boa size, but not the length of an adult retic, could potentially become an animal that people could keep. I don't think most people have the ability to care for a adult Burmese or retic or rock python or scrub python, but definitely, to have the opportunity to work with the dwarf version, is really cool, and I think these guys could definitely be a very, very popular pet if laws permitted it and if they had the opportunity to be more captive bred and become part of the industry. Absolutely beautiful snakes. Like that face is, and that patterning is ridiculous. So that is our little visit with these dwarf Burmese pythons before they head back to Ontario. I've not been as hands-on with them as I have been with the alligator and the reticulated python. They've basically just been display animals on our tour, but to me, that's one of the cool things about the experiences that I've had in doing different things, and even like the videos we have on here where I've been with sloths or interacted with wolves or things like that. It's not just reptiles that I love, but it's always great to go to a facility or get animals from a facility and see and work with something that you haven't, that you don't get the opportunity. I'm always learning, even after 14 years of doing this and having love for reptiles my entire life. And I hope you will too, and keep learning and keep loving animals and subscribe to our channel. That's a great way you can support us. We have Patreon as well. So starting at $3 a month, you can support us, get all sorts of behind the scenes stories and images and things like that from what's going on. And come visit us. Our nature center is open. I'm coming to you. We're filming this in our new classroom. So we have private experiences. You get to come. It's small groups. You get to meet different animals, not just reptiles. We have mammals and birds as well. And we're really excited because we're finally open and can have guests come and visit. So all that info is down below. In the meantime, thanks for checking this out. Again, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time.